All right, sorry I had to stop, but there's all our contents tipped off. She's pretty clean. Even though I've tipped all that stuff in there, I did that with a telehandler to load it. She's still pretty strong in terms of its actual floor. It hasn't marked that too well at all, so it's been really good. Underneath the tipper, you can see the springs where it's been rubbing. That's on the ultra high density polyethylene. So yeah, she's going really well. Got a few marks and that sort of stuff. Stone chips have just chipped the absolute living daylights out of the paint. So just to go through it, as you can see, our cable's stuck right up on the top here, so this won't go any further. And the reason why we've done that is to prevent this arm from over tipping, because if it over tips, what it means is it won't actually go down. So that was a design that I put into it. So we'll just go down. So winch coming out, cable going up, of course. We'll just slow down here. So inside there, I don't know whether I can get to it, I don't know whether you can see it, but there's a pulley in there that actually swings. And then now the cable is actually carried on the trailer. So as we let it down, it's just moving into its own position. The cable runs around on the chassis and then it just bends around. So we'll just go down underneath. That's not going to work. So I'll just come around the front. Down it goes. Beautiful. So she's all back in its position. I'll come around. And then down in there, obviously you've got your winch. So it's a very simple way. One thing that this technique that I've, because this works so well, I'll just go back up and explain it. Now that it hasn't got any weight in it, it'll go up a lot faster. But there's been a lot of videos on YouTube about this style of tipper. Now, when I go to that point, so we are now sitting on the arm. We're no longer, we're on the pulley. We're on now, as you can see, and if I shake this, we're actually sitting on the cable. So this angle here is a little bit more than 90 degrees. Now, the reason why I've got the extension out the back here is that if this isn't 90 degrees, it's going to actually pull this frame because it won't work. So if I go in, because it's pulling to the top, now we're over 90 degrees. So it's shaking a little bit. And up we go. So the chain's actually doing the work. So that critical transaction or from that point there, even though we've got that greater angle, that leg is the thing that stops it. So what I'm going to do this time is as we go up, we'll just watch this frame and make sure that it doesn't kick. So it's as tight as. And that's the reason that whole angle is the critical part of this tipper mechanism. It took me ages to work it out, but it needs to be very close to 90 degrees before you go up, otherwise it'll just pull itself to pieces and you'll get a whole heap of structural cracks. Hopefully that explains the principle. You've been able to see it on these two videos of tipping full and also tipping empty. And I reckon that I've probably tipped probably 300 loads with this trailer. and we're still on the same cable. We're still on the same winch. I haven't done anything else with the chains. One thing that I will say is that you'll notice that I'm using a wire cable. On a last trailer I had, I actually used a Danina cable, and they're not designed to go around metal pulleys, so it actually ended up breaking. So if you're going to do this, it needs to be a wire cable. You cannot use a rope. They're just not strong enough. So hopefully that's of help. Let me know if there's anything else that you want to know. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with the platform. In a video I'll upload shortly of just sort of backing it. It takes a little bit of time to get used to it. There's been a couple of comments about truck drivers saying I'll try and do that at an 18 metre super dog or whatever the case may be. I have driven a super dog, a quad dog, behind a tipper, and I will say that this trailer is harder to do for the simple reason that you've only got 1800 mil between the drawbar, and then you've only got 1800 mil between the centre of that. So in a dog trailer environment, because they're so much longer, you actually get more time to spin. But yeah, we'll upload a video for you so you can actually see me backing it and how I do it. I can basically put this where I want now. So yeah, sort of doing that to answer a lot of questions in the past. Have a great night and enjoy a nice cold one for us.